Hello, and welcome to Pharmacist Answers. I'm Cynthia, and I will be your host. You're listening to my Periscope broadcast turned podcast. Hope you enjoy. Today, I wanted to share a little bit about something in medicine that a lot of doctors use. You may see it on your information or on a prescription that a doctor gives you if he writes you an antibiotic, and sometimes they'll write the letters MIC. It is an acronym. It's short for Minimum Inhibitory Concentration. So in small words, that means the lowest amount of medication to get the job done for an antibiotic. So it's the lowest amount of antibiotic that you need to actually kill the bacteria that's causing the infection that's making you sick. But this number is used when they do studies and research and stuff to determine the actual doses for antibiotics that you take for different things. There's a whole lot of things that go into antibiotics. I had to take a whole quarter just on infectious disease and antibiotics in pharmacy school, so I don't even have time for that today. But the point is that when you take an antibiotic, its job is to either kill the bacteria that's causing the infection or slow it down enough so your body can kill it itself with its own immune system. But that MIC, or Minimum Inhibitory Concentration, is that magic number that determines how much medicine you need in your body at a constant level over a certain number of days to get rid of that bacteria completely, so you get rid of your infection. And if you've ever taken an antibiotic, or you've ever given antibiotics to your kids, every once in a while you kind of end up with that last couple of days left in the bottle and you don't take because you started feeling better and you kind of feel better and you still got it there. And I get a lot of questions from people saying, I still have antibiotic in my cabinet from this other time that I had this thing, and I think I have that thing again. Can I take the medicine I have left over? And usually my answer is no, because again, you have to have a certain amount of medication in your body over a certain number of days to get the job done. So if you only have 1 or 2 days left, but you were supposed to take 5 or 7 or 10 days worth of medicine, then 2 days isn't going to get the same job done that the 7 or the 10 days did. So usually that's not going to benefit you, and it can potentially hurt you. And here's my analogy for how it can hurt you. Say you have a pile of dirt on the floor, and you need to clean up that dirt. If you add a few drops of water, you end up with mud on your floor. If you take a whole pitcher full of water and pour it, you end up with a giant puddle, and it's like a flood. But if you take a damp rag and you wipe the floor where the dirt is and you clean it up, then your floor is clean. So let's relate that to antibiotics. If you have 2 days worth of antibiotics and you take it, it may kill some of the bacteria, but not all of it. But it teaches that bacteria that's left over how to be resistant to that antibiotic that you just took, so that same antibiotic may potentially not work again for that same type of infection. That's bad. If you take way too much antibiotic, trying to just obliterate whatever you can to get better, then that can lead to side effects or toxicities that can hurt you. Side effects are usually just uncomfortable. Toxicities can lead to short-term or long-term health problems, so you don't want to do that. But if you take the right amount of antibiotic, then you get rid of the infection that you had, and your body is able to recuperate and then heal itself the rest of the way. So that is how the minimum inhibitory concentration helps determine what antibiotic you take, and why it's important to not just take any old antibiotic, because they all have different jobs and they work on different critters. So you want to make sure you have the right match, again, to avoid that resistance aspect of it. But also the gap between the lowest amount of medicine you can take and then that threshold of the maximum amount of medicine you can take before the side effects or toxicity starts, that window is called a therapeutic index. And so usually your doses fall somewhere in there. You'll have a low dose, a medium dose, and a high dose. So that's my information on minimum inhibitory concentrations and the importance of using antibiotics appropriately. And I'm so glad my phone didn't overheat, and y'all have a great day. Bye. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes so you don't miss an episode. You can find the show notes at pharmacistanswershere.wordpress.com. If you want to join the conversation live, follow me on Periscope at Cyn Hendrix, CYNHENDRIX. You can also share your questions and comments with me on Twitter at Cyn Hendrix or email the podcast at pharmacistanswershere@gmail.com.